Welcome to Asher and God, making Africa home again.
One family at a time.
Thank you guys for watching, and really want to appreciate everyone who's bought our ebooks. We really do appreciate you all and all your donations as well. Honestly, it's been very helpful. God
Indeed.
bless you all. Yeah?
Yes, it's been good, yeah.
Okay. So we promise we'll be bringing out all the best content. Promise you that.
Yes.
So today we will be talking about how to construct a concrete flat roof, and that's because we are going to be talking from our own personal experience, because of course you know that we have a flat roof building at the moment. Okay.
Indeed.
So yeah, I'm gonna take it we're gonna take it step by step. The first issue you want to look at is the issue of possible leakage. Obviously we had a little problem with that.
It did, yes. But that was more down to a lack of coordination on site, more down to the workers rather than the actual substance of the roof.
Yes. You're going to talk about
I'll talk about that in more detail later on, yes.
Okay,
Exactly, yeah.
brilliant. Number two, the flat roof construction. There's a lot of work to be put in there. Kay will explain all that. Then the waterproof concrete versus on-site mixing. Kay, you will explain a bit more on that, isn't it?
Yes,
Indeed. Yeah. Number four, waterproof screed. I know we talked about that in one of our videos, videos, but Kay will talk a bit more on that as well. The tiling of the roof. We had to tile the roof. Of course, you've seen the video. It looks very beautiful, and there was a reason that we had to tile the roof. And yeah.
I mean, we like tiles. Some people may want something different, but we like tiles on the roof, so it's more of a personal choice.
Okay. Number 6 is the waterproof grout, and number 7 is the importance of on-site coordination. It's very important that all your workers are able to communicate with each other during construction, because we found it a little bit difficult to get them to communicate. So Kay had to be the project manager as well. So he'll tell you what we went through, and it's very important that you get everybody working together, communicating together to make sure that your work comes out perfect.
Have a good project manager. Really,
because I know that you were saying that if you can't get one, you might as well be your own project manager.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, especially as we're here now.
Yeah.
Okay, but I mean, this concrete roof was done in our absence, so that was probably one of the reasons why we had that issue. But let's get straight into it. So the first point that Crystal mentioned is the issue of possible leaking. Now, this is a genuine concern. I remember when we first started out that we were going to do a flat concrete roof, a lot of people were saying, no, don't do it, it leaks, and we had that comment a lot, but that is true. There are a lot of flat roofs out there. There are a few flat roofs out there that do leak, but it is not a problem that cannot be overcome. Okay, it is not insurmountable. All you need to do is do your research. You need to spend a little bit more, and most importantly, you need to apply all the correct waterproofing layers and measures, right? And most people don't go all the way. They just do one part and forget the other, right? You need to go all the way. All the layers are important, and when you go all the way, then you shouldn't have any problems, because we don't have any problems now, and it's been raining heavily for a very long time in the past 2 months or so. Okay, so we're going to tell you what those various waterproofing layers and measures are as we go through this video. In terms of the roof construction, the second point, please contact your structural engineer or ask your mason for advice. It's important to get the correct interconnection of the rods as accurate as possible. Obviously, I remember our mason saying he's going to make the iron rods more dense. He's going to increase the interlacing of them. Now, obviously, iron rods.
What's interlacing?
This is where the iron rods interconnect to each other, and then you put the binding wire. Right. He's going to increase the interconnections to make it more dense. I guess to make the concrete stronger. Let's say, because I mean the whole purpose of iron rods is to strengthen concrete. That's why you've got normal concrete and you've got reinforced concrete. The iron rods reinforce the concrete. In other words, make it more stronger. Okay, now I'm not a civil engineer, I'm not a structural engineer, so I can only tell you what my mason told me. I'm not fully certain about the role of the iron rods and the strengthening of the concrete in terms of water leaking or waterproofing, so that's something that you need to contact your specialist and find out the exact technical details surrounding that. I'm just narrating to you what our builder told us. Okay, now waterproof concrete versus on-site mixing. what is waterproof concrete? Basically, waterproof concrete is just concrete that has a number of chemicals mixed in it, with it, and a number of chemical additives mixed in it to make it impermeable to water. All right. Now, there are various companies in Ghana, quite a few of them, you can Google them for yourself, that provide a waterproofing concrete service. Okay. Now, when I say on-site mixing is where you can go to a company, you can go and buy the actual chemicals. Yeah, and there's some companies out there, so you can buy the actual chemicals, bring the chemicals to site, and actually mix your concrete and the chemicals on site. Okay, now that is 100% cheaper to do. However, you know, your builder or your mason needs to be willing to do that, needs to be confident to do that, needs to be somebody who you evaluate, who you know is good at following step-by-step instructions, because obviously, you know, on the instructions of the chemicals will say mix a certain volume of chemical with a certain amount of concrete. So that needs to be a perfect ratio to get the right waterproofing characteristics that you want. Now, in our case, you know, we did ask our builder. Unfortunately, he wasn't willing to take that risk on, so that we had no choice but to go out to specific companies for that work to be done. And in a way, you know, I don't blame him, because, you know, if he does it and it goes wrong, then you know, we're pointing at him.
I know.
So I don't blame
He
him.
wouldn't want you to blame him for anything.
He wouldn't want
knowing
to.
who you are.
Exactly. You know, guys, there's a video coming up on the screen right now where we show the very exciting day that our waterproofing concrete was being poured. Some of you have watched this video already, but if you haven't, we will put the link at the end of this video so you can click it and watch it for yourself. That's the day the waterproof concrete was being poured. We had about 55 cubic meters of volume of concrete. It's all about volume here, and they were delivered in 6 massive trucks. Okay, it's all in the video in the link. Yeah, 6 massive trucks. Each truck carries about 10 meters cubes. So obviously we needed 5 to do 10 to give you the 50, and the 6th one to do 5 meters cubed to give us the 55 meters cubed that we needed. So what they do, they deliver it to site, but they don't provide the labor, or the company they don't provide the labor. So they deliver the concrete to site, and it's up to your masons and your builder to apply it on the roof. So again, if you're going to go down this route, talk to your builder beforehand, make sure he's confident about actually applying the concrete on the roof. It's not a big deal, it's just a bit more pressure. If you watch that video, you see they're holding a pipe and there's a bit more pressure. It comes out with a bit more pressure. But it's fine. Any competent builder should be able to provide you the labor you need to get that done. Now, volume. It is very important to calculate the correct volume in order to make sure you get the right price from the company. Now, the volume it's all about volume when it comes to waterproof concrete. It's about the volume. You need to get the volume of your roof correct, but that volume also includes the beams. I remember initially I did a calculation, I didn't include the beams, so there was a dispute between me and the companies about, well, you said it's 55 cubic meters, but I get only 28 or 29. And then they corrected me, and I went back again, did a calculation. Oh, yeah, it's about 55. So include the volume of the roof, not just obviously the height of the concrete in the area, and then include the depth of the beams as well. The reason being, the price from these waterproofing companies is based on cedis per cubic meter. Okay, so determine your own volume so you can get the correct estimate from the provider. Now, when we did it probably about 8 months ago, the concrete was poured. I'll say about 8 months ago, I can't remember exactly, but the price that we had was 550 cedis per cubic meter for the waterproof concrete, plus 55 cedis per cubic meter for the chemicals in the concrete, giving a total of 605 cedis per cubic meter. Okay, so that was the price we paid for just for the waterproofing concrete element, which is the first layer. Now, guys, when you're searching for the company, when you're doing your research, there are different strengths of waterproofing concrete, and because of what everybody was worried about, the leaking, possible leaking, you know, we decided to go for the strongest we could find. Because we didn't want any issues. There's C20, C25, C30. We went for the C30, okay, because it's much stronger. Guys, you can't cut corners.
Yeah.
You know, you can't cut corners here.
You can't.
You know, this is your house. You're gonna live in it. You can't cut corners unless you're going to have an unpleasant surprise in the future.
That's true.
Yeah. You know, and you don't want that. So you've got to be, if you want that, then you've got to be ready financially to do it, and to do it properly once and for all. It's a one-time investment, if you like. Yeah. Another thing I want to talk about is the actual.
I think that that from what we've seen so far, the concrete roofing is more expensive than the normal sheeting thing.
The roofing sheets, absolutely, without a doubt, problem. Yeah, absolutely, yeah. Which is I guess another reason why people tend not to do it. But it's lovely. I mean, come on, look at those views. The air on the roof, which is amazing. The views are amazing, and then in effect, you've got another level.
That's true, though. Yeah.
You've got ground, first, and the roof. You've got another level. Absolutely awesome. I mean, you're thinking of sleeping there one day.
Yeah.
Put a mosquito net, camp on the roof.
Exactly. We're still going to do that.
Yeah. Camp on the roof. Why not?
Yes.
Why not?
We'll do that. Yeah.
Guys, the time of the waterproof concrete application is also important. And the recommendation is to apply the waterproof concrete either very early in the morning, or late in the evening. What you want to do is,
I remember that issue. Okay, just go.
Exactly. You start at, some of the guys can start early. They can start at 6 o'clock in the morning and finish by 10 o'clock. Let's say, depending on how big your house is. Try as much as possible to avoid the peak sun, because obviously that the sun in Accra is well.
It starts heating up as early as 8 o'clock,
7 o'clock even.
Yes, it gets very hot by then.
But the peak sun, obviously around 11:30 to 12, peak sun. Try to avoid that peak sun, simply because the peak sun will make the concrete dry too quickly, and if the concrete dries too quickly, then it starts to develop cracks here and there, which can obviously affect its integrity. Now, I'm sure that the companies have ways around that, and they told me that they did have ways around that, but I prefer, I don't want any excuses, any stories. Just do it early in the morning or late in the evening. Obviously late in the evening, as long as you've got electricity available. So early morning is the best, because you don't know when doomsday will happen. Yeah. So guys, our total cost for the waterproofing concrete was approximately 33,961 Ghana cedis, which is 4,245 pounds, and for our brethren in the US, $5,943. Okay, the payment terms for this particular these type of companies is 100%. You have to pay 100% with your order. No stage payments were acceptable, so please bear that in mind also in your budgeting. One thing I'd say is that the concrete does dry very quickly, and once it dries and you go and I remember when the contractor and other people went on, it was the difference is so obvious compared to normal concrete. It's solid as a rock. It really is solid. So yeah, worth investing in.
Yes.
So that's the first waterproofing layer. Second waterproofing layer is the waterproof screed. Now, what is screed? Screed, do you remember what screed is?
Yeah.
What is it then? No, you don't. Well, screed.
Yeah, I do.
You do? Okay, tell them then.
So it's something you put is at the base.
Yeah.
It's a kind of sealant.
Okay.
No, it's not.
Yes, almost. Yeah, you can say that.
It's a kind of sealant to hold the concrete in place.
Okay. Almost. I give you 5 out of 10.
Oh my God.
Well, the screed, as said in some of our previous videos, the screed is basically a cement and sand mix, and it's a cement and sand mix. Remember now, that is put over your base concrete, and the idea of the screed is because the concrete is rough, the surface is rough, so you put the screed to make a nice smooth surface. Before the tiles get placed on it, because you don't need the tiles to be wonky, it needs to be smooth. But we decided, again, because of the paranoia of leaking, to go for a waterproof screed. Not just a normal cement and sand mix, but cement, sand mix, and some chemicals to give it a further layer of water protection. Now we used about at least 2 inches thick of screed all around the area of the roof in order to give that further protection before the tiling was done, and that was cool. Then obviously came the tiling. The tiling is the final layer, obviously, the final layer that you will see. It obviously it needs to be aesthetically pleasing, because that's what you're going to look at all the time. But the functionality, obviously, to be aesthetically pleasing, obviously to be a bit rough. You don't want to start slipping on the tile. You don't want polished tiles on the roof. A bit rough, rustic tiles are quite good. But most importantly, again, this is about water preventing leaks please use waterproof grout. Now, what is grout? Grout is the substance that goes in between the tiles, yeah, because water can seep through there as well. So we used waterproof grout as well, and that is the final layer of water protection or proofing
Is it the
for
same
the
kind
roof.
of grout you're using downstairs?
Yeah, no. The grout we're using inside the house is normal grout. It's normal grout, because obviously waterproof grout is much more expensive than a normal grout.
Are we gonna use your waterproof grout in the kitchen?
No.
Why not?
No need, because if it leaks, it goes into the ground. There's no need.
Okay, your concern is that it doesn't get
Come into
the roof and
come into the house. Exactly. Yeah.
Okay.
So waterproof grout for the roof, but everywhere else is just normal grout. And I'm glad you talked about tiling, because guys, I'm gonna have a video coming out soon, which will be about tiling. Okay, and especially in that video, I'll cover the types of tiles, what to use where, and I'll also cover the issue of using tile adhesive versus cement mortar, because there are some advantages and disadvantages either way, and some cost savings to be had as well for those who are interested. On your screen right now, you've got some recent pictures of our lovely roof, and you can see for yourself the tiles that we used, and obviously you've all seen the views. So it's very much it's very worth it to invest if you want a flat roof. But do invest properly. Don't cut corners, because if you cut corners, then you may have leaks in the future. You know. Now, this is where it got interesting. Coordination of on-site work. You said communication is important.
It is very important, because you're going mad because you couldn't get hold of your workers. Yes, and
exactly.
At a point it looked like everybody was going to do their own different things, and they weren't going to come up with the result that we wanted, and that would have been very dangerous.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So you took over the whole thing.
Exactly.
Micromanaged everything.
Yeah, and I don't want to micromanage. Micromanaging is not efficient. People should be competent enough to do their own thing, and you just do some high level checks, and there you go. But also, simple things get missed if there's not the right level of communication or organization, which is why you need a good project manager. But anyway, so in this regard, it's very important to have a good project manager and or a good builder, who has good communication skills and very good organization skills, because your builder or your project manager, whoever you use, needs to be someone who can really understand that there are many trades on site. Sometimes there can be loads of trades. The electrician can be on site, the plumber can be on site, the tiler can be on site, the carpenter, and they're all doing their own thing in isolation. But people need to understand that all those groups of trades, what they do can impact the larger building and the larger construction intent. So if you have a good project manager who can see and understand what everybody's doing, you can organize and prevent rework from being done, because rework is a common thing in Ghana, and rework means more money coming out of your pocket.
Money, and that could be very annoying,
very frustrating. And this is an example of rework. So when the iron rods were done initially, we told all the plumber, the electrician, all these trades to make sure you put all your pipes in place, because the pipes have to go through the roof. Okay, the rainwater pipes, the conduits for any electric cables that go up there, everything is to go through the iron rods, go through the roof before the concrete is poured. Unless when you finish, you're gonna have to come and drill the concrete. So this particular tradesperson, we sat down with them, make sure that they're going to install everything. They told us that we're finished, all pipes installed, and then guess what? 2 weeks after the concrete was poured, this particular tradesperson went to site without anybody knowing and drilled through all the waterproofing layers we just told you about. He drilled through the tiles, drilled through the waterproof screed, he drilled through the whole thing, and even the actual main waterproof concrete, he drilled through the whole thing to get a if you like, a conduit from the roof to the kitchen area for a circuit that he had forgotten about. But he did that on site and left without telling anyone.
Nobody.
Obviously, he knew that he screwed up, so he just went quickly and then just run away, if you like. Now, after 2 weeks.
So what was his purpose of drilling into that? And he didn't tell anybody what he was doing.
Because basically he forgot to do it previously. He was supposed to do it at a set point in time, right? But he forgot to do it.
Right.
And because he forgot to do it, he didn't want to tell people, because obviously he didn't want to be told off. So therefore therefore he went aside to drill, put the pipe in, and then left. Yeah, which is really annoying. So we've had a proven waterproof concrete, no leaks for 2 weeks. Then he goes and does that. Then all of a sudden we get some rain, and it began to leak.
Yeah.
Began to leak in the first floor bedroom.
Kind of panicked, didn't we?
I know it wasn't really a good moment.
No, it wasn't at all.
Began to leak in the first floor bedroom, leak a bit in the kitchen. So we had to investigate. We investigated the builder, lots of investigation until we found the cause of the leak. Okay, and thank God we've got a caretaker on site. You must have a caretaker on site. Your builder will not always be on site. We've got a caretaker. Obviously, they're seeing what people are doing, and it was the caretaker who really informed us of the drilling of this tradesperson after the waterproof concrete had been done. So we found the source of the leak, and that source of the leak was really down to poor coordination on site, a lack of proper communication from this particular tradesperson. Okay. Also, you can argue the builder didn't check either, so he just took the guy's word for it that all the pipes were installed at the right time, which is another reason why you need a good project manager. Your builder can be that good project manager if you evaluate him or her, and that turns out to be the case. Exactly. This is why you need good people. Yeah. But before you employ good people, it's also important to check their workload before they commit to your site.
But do you know the thing is?
Do you know why? Sorry, before you know why? Because this particular person who made this blunder, they are actually very, very good at their job. But because they're very good at their job, they have so much work. They've spread themselves so thinly that it affects their concentration to come and do a bit here and then go, come and do a bit here then go. So therefore that obviously has an impact on the quality of their work. Yes, that's why.
I was gonna say because you said it's good to know the workload. But how are you gonna know that? Because a lot of them, they lie. They won't let you know. So it's gonna be a very tough one.
Yes, well,
to know the workload.
You can't guarantee that you have an honest answer to that question. But at least all you can do is do your bit by asking. But yeah, you can. Like he could have told me that he didn't really have much capacity, but he took it on. I haven't met an artisan yet to turn work down.
The engineering guy you met before. Said
oh yes, there is one electrician who turned us down because he was simply too busy. Yeah. And he's a good guy. Yeah. He's one of the few electricians that I met who knows the theory and the practical. I really wanted him to do the job, but timing didn't allow. Maybe that's Yahoo as well. So we thank God for that. So please check that. It's very important to check how busy they are. All you can do is ask the question. Really. Now, to cut a long story short, we had to remove the tiles and the waterproof screed where this tradesperson had drilled through. It was about 5 square meters of the area of the roof, and we had to redo that work all over again. Yeah, we have to get the waterproof concrete sealed. Sealed. There were pipes there. We had to make sure the pipes were sealed and just redo it all over again. Okay, and that rework costed us 1,100 Ghana cedis, which is about £140 or just under $200, $194. Okay, now obviously, waste of money really. If things were done properly, communication was proper, we wouldn't have to spend that money. Really annoying. Now some would say, well, the tradesperson who made that mistake should pay for it, and you'd be 100% correct. They should pay for it. However, when we questioned him, he blamed the mason, the builder, and then the builder blamed him. So going around in circles, no, it's your fault, no, it's my fault, no, it's your fault. We were stuck in the middle, and if you want your building to progress, well, you got to cough it up.
I know.
You got to cough it up. So there you go. But every cloud has a silver lining, let's say, and the silver lining is, since that repair has done, and to date, we've had lots and lots of heavy rains, and we're proud to say that we haven't had a single leak. So glory to the Most High Jehovah on that. Yeah. So flat concrete roofs can leak, but if you install all the right waterproofing layers and the right measures, as we just discussed, waterproofing concrete, waterproof screed, waterproof grout, the tiles, then you should be okay.
Yeah,
And the right,
I have a problem.
exactly, and the right coordination of the tradespeople on site, so that somebody doesn't do a silly blunder like the one we've just described.
Yeah.
Because that would just imagine if it didn't leak. Imagine if we were not in the rainy season. Yeah, that's another fact. That's another blessing.
That's true though.
If we were not in the rainy season, this would leak far into the future.
I wouldn't have been good at all.
And that would be even, because then the guys have left side, you wouldn't know whether that's even worse.
That's true.
So if you're gonna do a flat waterproof concrete roof, maybe make sure maybe do it in the rainy season. You know, try and get it to coincide with that if possible.
Even with the glass people.
Yeah. We covered that in a different video, but if you've been following us, so far me as well. Yeah. But finally they've got their act together and everything is fine now. But we covered that in a different video.
Yeah, I was just saying it was good that it rained when they were doing that. Otherwise, we wouldn't have known that.
We wouldn't have known that either.
Yeah.
We wouldn't have known that. And if we were not here, I wouldn't have been able to chase them as much as I did to get the.
It was just good timing that we came here at this time. Yeah.
At some point, you need to come over.
You do.
At some point, you need to come over. Even if somebody is helping you build, a family member or whatever it is, it's yours. So at some point, you need to come over. Just like that.
Yeah.
So guys, to conclude, there is an ebook in the description, okay, which gives further information relating to the proper construction of your waterproof concrete flat roof. Okay, now it has a number of contents which will be in the description, but it includes details such as 1, how to accurately measure the volume of your roof to get the correct estimate from your chosen waterproof concrete provider. Okay, they will come to site anyway. But what you don't want is to have disputes. You want to know this detail so that you can check to make sure that you're being quoted the right volume. You don't want to be, if you're like naive and maybe your volume is 55 cubic meters, but then they go and measure and tell you 65 cubic meters, and then you just accept it, because then you're paying 65 cubic meters times, in our case, 605 cedis per meter cube. So that's a lot of money.
Yeah, it is.
It's a very simple calculation to do. If you got your drawing, you can do it for yourself. Also, but another thing, check with your builder. Sometimes when you have a drawing, but when they build, they may make a few modifications here and there. So if you can, the best thing is you can measure off your drawing, but compare that with the actual on-site measurements, and then have a correct volume. Okay. Another thing that's in the ebook, link in the description, is more details of the waterproof screeding, that process and what's involved in that. We also evaluate 2 different waterproof concrete companies in Ghana, okay, for you to have a look at if you're interested. We give some further tips about how to obtain the waterproof chemicals yourself if you decide to go down the on-site mixing route. Remember, the on-site mixing is where you buy the chemicals yourself and your builder or mason mixes it on-site and then applies it on the roof. Obviously, don't do that. Only do that if your builder, if your mason, is willing and confident of mixing the chemicals, following the right steps, and is willing to take the risk that it's going to be done properly. Okay, and some more bonus info is also in the ebook. Okay, so I think I've had a lot of requests to do more ebooks and also to talk more about this flat concrete roof, because I think how can I say it's the.
Is it a trend?
Well, I won't say it's a trend. I would say.
We got lots of concrete roofs where we.
Well, not loads. Maybe 3 or 4.
No.
Yeah. Okay.
Quite a lot.
Maybe it is a trend. Maybe it is a trend. Maybe it is a trend. But I think it's the most impressive part of our building, the roof.
You think?
I think so. Yeah. I mean, the whole structure is impressive, but the roof is really impressive. Yeah.
For you?
Yeah, for me, yeah.
Okay.
For me, yeah. I'm looking forward to enjoying, the sun on the roof and the air and camping on the roof as well at night.
I love it too.
Exactly. Yeah. So guys, that's it really for this episode of Asher and Gad channel. And don't forget, making Africa home again, one family at a time. Thanks for watching again. Like, share, subscribe, hit that notification button so you always know when we release an educative and interesting video for your viewing pleasure. All right. Awesome. We hope this was useful to you. For anybody out there who wants to build a flat concrete roof, don't cut corners.
No,
don't cut corners. Yeah. Apply all the waterproofing layers and measures that we've talked about, and get the ebook as well, because it's got even more details which you need if you're going to go down that route, if you want, that is, for those who are interested. Anyway, guys, so from you, it's
Kemesia.
guys, Yebeshia. See you next time.